Hi there, I'm NatorCraft, and I'm the creator of NatorWorld. Let's talk about some stuff. So, why did I start NatorWorld? I started playing Minecraft back when I was 14. I was just entering 8th grade at the time. I was introduced to Minecraft by my old friends that lived across the street, and I was watching them play it on like an old Dell Vostro computer. I mean, it could barely handle any sort of graphical 3D load. In fact, I remember them having to tune the operating system just to get it to play, because the graphical settings and all that, because there was like almost like no graphics power at all on there. But they got it to work. They introduced it to me. I was observing them playing the game. I kind of blew it off for a short time, but as I saw them play more, I'm like, this is what I need. I need a creative canvas, and this game is providing it. So that's when I got hooked. I remember the first week that I had my hands on the game, I was going like round the clock almost. Like, obviously I had school and stuff like that, but I would go as long as I could playing the game, and that's when I created my first world, which was like a sandcastle next to a big cliff and water, and there was like a dungeon nearby, a sunken, collapsed dungeon. Created that out of sand and cobblestone, failed, I was upset, deleted the world. I regret deleting the world, but later on I created my actual first world that I still have today. It's called Nate 7, because I made like Nate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 7 was finally the one that I stuck with. And the world had like that mishmashed base, million different blocks kind of on a little peninsula jet out into like a water area, and that will always be a nostalgic world for me. But it's part of NatorWorld now. It's in multiple areas. You can kind of see the original and then kind of like the years later version of it. But that's the whole point of NatorWorld, is to take all my old worlds and just smash them into one big world. So, and then provide the infrastructure between the areas. So there's basic bridges, roads. Try to keep the roads as straight as possible because it makes it easier for me. Doing curvy roads up and down hills is very, very time consuming, and it is more difficult. So that's usually on reserved for like rural areas in the world. But that's the whole point, is to take any worlds that I had saved that hadn't disappeared and smash them together into one. And that also means that I'm building new stuff as well in the world, like Zionsville, which the world is unique in the way it started. It actually started with Zionsville, which used to be called Spawn Town. But as time went on, I'm like, okay, I want to add old builds to the world. The software got better for Minecraft. Terrain generation system got way better. There used to be such thing as chunk borders, where you'd have like old terrain and new terrain. It would just shear off into, I hated that. It drove me nuts. I'd use World Painter to smooth all out, and it didn't really look the best. It looked very artificial. But now that it's built into the actual game, that has made things so much quicker. MCA Selector, I use that to plop old worlds into the new world. There's a video out there covering that. It's really helpful. It's actually on my project page. I have it linked on there, so you can go check that out if you want to make your own mega world. But as time went on, things started to roll, and I'm like, okay, I want to add my existing worlds into here, and eventually it got to the point where it feels like an actual like county, like here in America, where it's not like the biggest world. It's over 70 square miles. I know that's like bigger than some video game maps, and you're like, that is big, I know. But yeah, it just feels like one big county, honestly. And beyond that, it's just wilderness, unexplored terrain. But I think you'll be impressed with the world and how the attention to detail, especially, that's something where I have a keen eye. I like the attention to detail. It's a bit harder to fill builds with actual furniture and stuff. That's not something I really like to do. It takes a lot of time. A lot of the builds do have stuff on the inside, and a lot don't. Let's just say that. I'm more keen on just mega scale stuff, like mega road networks, mega buildings, town creation, not so much the actual interior design, if you know what I mean. So I have had buddies help me with the world over the years, and I still have some that are still, they're not too active anymore. They have their own lives to live. I don't blame them. You know, at some point, people have got to live their life. I've slowed down tremendously on the project this year. I have been focused on my mini bike content, my family. I've been outside a lot. Another thing that I have accomplished in the last 2 years is I lost a tremendous amount of weight. I went from being obese to being actually very lean and athletic, and I'm so proud of it. It's something that when you look back and reflect on it, it's hard to not get emotional because when I was that size before, it was really, really hard to live my life, to have quality of life. It really was. It was a struggle, and doing the job I do for a living, which is in the trades, it was getting to be where I was just dreading every single second of it because of my physical health. Now I've embraced the job. I'm I'm like ahead of everybody. Like I'm always 10 steps ahead, and as long as I'm not tired, but I'm proud of it. And this video is kind of here to get people to broaden their horizons as well. Take on new things. Don't be afraid to get dirty, So this is what I have been up to recently. I've been doing mini bikes since 2019, and this is my current hobby. And I really enjoy it because you get to tinker with the bikes, fix them up, touch them up, anything that arises. Parts are generally pretty cheap nowadays, and I just really enjoy it. It's fun to go around the neighborhoods and off-roading on these bikes and just have a total blast and make new memories, either by myself or with other people, family, friends. I think it's worth it just for that reason alone. So I actually wish I could find and meet up with more mini bikers, and I'm doing my videos on my other channel so that I can encourage people to get into the hobby, since it's generally pretty accessible for most people in terms of budget. And it's not terribly hard to learn about them. YouTube is your friend for the mini bike space. There's plenty of good content creators out there that make how-tos and all that, how to get started, everything you really need to know. I like to keep my bikes pretty simple. I'm not gonna heavily tune them. So the engines are pretty much stock other than a stage 1 kit, which means just air intake, custom carburetor, main jet, and then a custom exhaust. It's pretty much stage 1 right there. That blue engine is bone stock though. But yeah, I just enjoy this because being outside, I prefer being outside over being indoors all day. I'm a person that has to stay active constantly. I just can't stand sitting in a chair or something, just doing really not much all day. I get too squirmy. I gotta do something. I gotta be up, moving around, So yes, indeed, I have built all 3 of these bikes myself. So I'll just quickly go over. So this was a Massimo MB200. I got it in 2019 in September. It looked a lot different back then, and I have done a complete overhaul on it over time. It's been a very slow process. And then this is my FRP. I got it. This is my most new bike here besides the blue one. I bought this as a frame from FRP's website, and then I built it out myself. So engine and everything. So I've added my own custom little accessories and touch to it. I am very proud. Recently, I just did a video. I repainted my rack on both ends of the bike. These were black originally, and now it looks more uniform in my opinion. I got the rims painted too, and I'm so proud of it. And we're getting ready for Independence Day here in less than a month, so it is all decked out and ready to go. And then my blue bike, the Mini Mule, it's kind of more of the bike to just chill on. It's not terribly fast, but I mean it is fast, but to get up to speed, it's a little slower than the other bikes. But this is kind of just like the training bike / this is the bike that would get beat up the most, because it's probably one of my less favorite bikes. I mean, I like it a lot. I love all the bikes, but this one is more of the workhorse, and then the other 2 are more of show bikes. This one and this one are my babies. So this is Neutron, by the way. I forgot to name it. Neutron from Jimmy Neutron, if you've ever seen that Nickelodeon show. I grew up during that time frame. So yeah, that's why it's called Neutron. Always enjoyed that television show. So it was the boy genius with the big hairdo. So we'll go over some of the accessories here. Yeah, I know that. Sorry about that if I'm, deafening you, but there you go. So if we press this button here, it's a turn signal. And vice versa, the other way around too. So these are just small things that really make me smile here. And the accessories were not terribly priced either. So like I've got like an actual light bar here. It's battery powered. So I could like charge it through solar or just regular wall outlet. But 4 modes. And then like, let's do this one. This one's got one of them bar lights, like for daytime travel. Right there, yeah, I see that? It's down at the very bottom. It's a long strip of lights that I can go that, and then strober. So you get the gist of that. So I always try to wear a helmet at almost all times. Hey, look, I'm human. I'm not always gonna wear it. So you got a speedo here on all 3 bikes. So this can do kilometers per hour, miles per hour. It tracks your distance traveled, round trip, and then it does the time, basically how long were you out riding. It's GPS driven, so there's no need for prongs going down to the wheels. So that's awesome. The only downside is GPS can be spotty sometimes, especially when there's not so ideal weather. So I have planted a meadow last year with me and my father, and this is what it's like just over a year later. And this is kind of another one of the side projects I've done. So on NatorWorld, I think you guys may know that I've put like flower meadows in a lot of different areas, and so I thought I'd bring it to real life. And this is the end result of hard work and just a little bit of preparation, a little bit of research. YouTube was my friend in this project, and that's the reason why it's doing so well, is because of other knowledgeable creators that know more about meadows and all that. So I encourage you, take on something like this, you know? We need more of this in the world. We need more meadows. We need more people willing to take on the dirty work to make a positive impact.